no class, no integrity. I mean, honestly, when are you leaving the country, Whoopi? When are you leaving the country? Okay, because we're fed up with you, honestly. All right, it's just really despicable. It's disgusting. It's just wicked behavior, honestly. And you need to apologize, quite frankly. But we all know that one thing a narcissist will never do is apologize. That's a whole nother topic, and I digress. But in this case, when it comes to Whoopi Goldberg, she needs to apologize. She's dead wrong. She's dead wrong. And that's just what it's going to be. That's just the facts. We're here to get into this video, you guys. Smash that like button, hit subscribe. We're going to get right into this video. Shout out to the King Squad, the King Squad family, and the King Squad elites. Here's thebottom.com. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys very much. And let's get right into our first clip here.
So there seems to be a lot of talk about the dessert I requested for my birthday show. I never mentioned the name of the bakery or the location. It does seem a little odd that when we called a few weeks before my birthday and we were told they couldn't process the order for my birthday because of an equipment failure, but somehow they were able to accept an order of a different 48 of the same dessert when somebody else called without using my name. But it's all okay, y'all, because I enjoyed my delicious dessert and I had a happy, sweet birthday.
Super Cap. Nothing about this person is happy and sweet and loving and compassionate and considerate. Everything I just said, think of the antonyms. That's a more accurate description of Whoopi Goldberg.
Nothing better than that.
Tell you what would have been better than that, Whoopi. How about you keeping your mouth shut? That'd be a lot more better than that, okay? And let's get into our next clip. Let me know what you guys think about this whole thing. I think it's actually just sickening, and that's that. So shout out to Fox. We're going to get right into this, and I will be giving my commentary on the back end.
These refused to make them. The place that made these refused to make them for me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What? Oh,
No. Let me explain. They said that their ovens had gone down, all kinds of stuff, but folks went and got them anyway, which is why I'm not telling you who made them. But can't be because I'm a woman, but perhaps they did not like my politics.
yeah. And I know how hard my family has worked to keep this business alive. My bakers come in 2 or 3 in the morning just to have donuts and rolls for everybody to come in and say, we have the best rolls ever. This is what makes Holtemans. It's the community.
So if you haven't heard the story by now, Whoopi Goldberg, as you can see there, learning the hard way that going after a Staten Island institution can be a recipe for controversy. Thousands of customers lined up outside Halterman's Bakery to show their support after the View co-host accused that bakery of political discrimination. Community leaders calling on her to apologize, but instead, here's the update. She appears to double down in this new video.
Wow.
There seems to be a lot of talk about the dessert I requested for my birthday show. I never mentioned the name of the bakery or the location. It does.
Man, I have to listen to these lies again. She's not upset. She meant every word.
Seemed a little odd that when we called a few weeks before my birthday.
Well, not about the bakery doing anything to her, but about her disgust for the bakery, okay? Just wicked stuff.
And we were told they couldn't process the order for my birthday because of an equipment failure. But somehow they were able to accept an order of a different 48 of the same dessert when somebody else called without using my name. But it's all okay, y'all, because I enjoyed my delicious dessert and I had a happy, sweet birthday.
Looks like cleanup on aisle 6 to me. Joining us now is Staten Island Borough President Vito Vasella. Thank you very much for being here. We saw you at that news conference. I mean, you lit the crowd up. You have people lining up outside the bakery because they feel bad for what's happened to this institution, the Staten Island institution. Welcome to you. Did that clear anything up, that video with Whoopi Goldberg there?
No, not at all. In my opinion, first of all, the story here is Halterman, the family is wonderful. They're the salt of the earth. They've had a business for 146 years. Not many people can say that. They have an impeccable reputation. People love them and their business. And then this woman went on national television and basically misrepresented what happened. And, to have a platform like that and disparage, potentially, arguably defame a business that has no recourse in the court of public opinion, and they were devastated. And what we said, we were going to stand up for those businesses, and we're not going to take the abuse. She may have had the bully pulpit, but she came across as a bully, if you ask me. And the family, not being used to this, said, what do we do? So the Staten Island community stood up and stood strong and stood up for the Holterman family, the Holterman Bakery. And I commend the Holtermans for just having the grace to take the high road, and the Staten Island community stepping out, waiting online hour after hour to say we support Holtermans. But it could have been any small business. It could have been anybody who was attacked on the national airwaves for something they didn't do.
As a reporter, I step back from the story and I say, well, could have something happened there that maybe we didn't see? Maybe there was somebody. This is just me asking you, based on the facts that you have at hand, could there have been somebody behind the register who didn't like the idea that this was for Whoopi Goldberg and said, not today?
So the facts are the boiler that they had in place that they need to make the cakes was about 60 or 70 years old. They were planning on replacing it. They didn't know how long it would take to replace. So Jill Holterman actually did the right thing by telling the woman, we can't commit to it. We would hate for you to have a birthday party and the boiler would still be down. So, go someplace else. And then the boiler was fixed, probably in less time than they anticipated, and then people could buy cakes again. She was not the only one that was declined.
So they send somebody else in there
after the fact.
After it was fixed.
Correct.
And so she connects the dots and says, oh, they'll serve them without my name attached to it, but they wouldn't serve me.
Yeah, and she wouldn't, the old expression, she wouldn't accept the truth. And somehow it was this, perhaps a degree of self-absorption that everybody thinks of politics every day. We just heard Jill. Her and her workers are at work sometimes 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to prepare every day. You think she really cares about politics? Her customer base or across the board, she wants to do well in business. My main concern was that this woman took to the national airwaves and sought to destroy a company.
She didn't say the name of the company, and I'm not defending her in any way, but she didn't say it then. In her clarification on Instagram there, that video, she also didn't say the name of the company, and she reminded people she didn't say this. So the question now is there a case of defamation as the legal in the proper legal format? I'll put this up on the screen. This is Jonathan Turley's take. He says why defamation suit against Whoopi Goldberg could be piece of cake. The implied accusation against the bakery could fit into a per se category of impugning business or professional integrity. Goldberg's statement was clearly meant to impugn the reputation and professional standing of the bakery. It can be argued as defamatory per se by implication, says Jonathan Turley.
Got to respect that opinion, and I don't think if it went before a jury that people would think differently. Although she did not mention.
Man, Whoopi really messed up, okay? Like, she really messed up. She could have just been quiet and just kept on about her day and, that be that. But no. Trump won the election. They're mad. They need a reason to rage. The raging liberal. They got to explode. Rage. Let's ruin everybody else because her day is ruined because the person that she wanted to be president is not in office. That's how it strikes me. Okay, we see these liberals melting down. What makes you think that this is not a part of that? I personally think this is a part of that. I mean, it's still fresh. Trump is still it's still fresh. They still freshly lost the election. Okay, it's still a huge deal. All right. And so with that being said, they got to ruin everybody's day. That's my thoughts about that. Let's go. Let's continue.
The name, in a matter of minutes or hours, it was deduced that the company itself was Holterman's. And again, I get back to, it was a misrepresentation of what happened. And rather than give the benefit of doubt to the business owner, she goes on national television. And by the way, the first calls that the family got were not nice calls. They were borderline threatening calls.
Wow.
And it was at that point we stepped up and said, we're not going to take this. We're not going to let this poor family suffer at the abuse of somebody who's going to seek to disparage, potentially defame, and you never know. If they didn't have a good reputation, that business could be destroyed. How is that good in this country? And it happened to be Holterman's, it happened to be on Staten Island, we happened to be there to support them, but this could have been any business, small business around the country.
And they happen to make a dynamite Charlotte Russe dessert,
food.
so I've heard. Okay, so just to move this story forward, have you talked to the family? Do they have plans to file a lawsuit?
I have spoken with the family, but not about litigation. That'd be totally, that's in their court.
And how's business? People lining up at first.
As I say, I got to commend the people of Staten Island, but we got calls from around the country. The Holtermans did, around the world. People from Europe have been weighing in, people from the Philippines, all over to say, because they see this for what it is. They see this as an abuse by somebody on somebody who's just trying to go out and make a business. And if the Holtermans didn't have an impeccable reputation for this 146 years, who knows where this would have been, but the people know who they are and they step forward. So business, fortunately, has been booming. So any attempt to abuse them has backfired tremendously.
If there's one thing I know about the Staten Island community, it's that you all are tight and you have each other's backs.
So Staten Island, we have about 500,000 people. We have a small town feel, and we're there.
Shout out to Staten Island. If you're from Staten Island, hey, comment down below. Shout out to Staten Island.
For each other. It's a solidarity like no other around the country, and maybe we should send a message out, don't mess with Staten Island.
There you go, from the borough president. Thank you very much for joining us. Good to have you on the program. John, it sparked a lot of conversation about what happened there, and it does appear that she sort of doubled down in that video. It could have just been I'm sorry if I incorrectly drew the conclusion, but it seems she said something just was odd.
Why in this day and age of social media would you ever fall on your sword and say, you know what, I got it wrong, I'm really sorry. I will, every birthday from now until the day I die, I will make sure that I put in my order for the Charlotte Russe cake from the fabulous Holterman's Bakery. No, you got to keep up the fight, because that's the way it is these days. Nobody ever admits that they were wrong. But I think that to speak to Mr. Facella's view, I think
he's got a point.
Strongest statement, you could talk about litigation, but I think the strongest statement that could possibly be made is the statement that came from the Staten Island community and the way that they gathered together to support that age-old business.
And lined up around the block. Amen. Yep. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, so shout out to them. Shout out to Fox. As far as Whoopi Goldberg goes, the View needs to be canceled, okay? The spew, the unfortunate View. All right, these people, they're here to sabotage, steal, and destroy, quite frankly. In my personal opinion, when I see that show, I just think it's just a bunch of hogwash being spewed out over the airwaves. I think that it's really, really put in place to maintain division, keep people confused, and I really think that a show like theirs is actually dangerous, okay? And I say that because when you look at the liberal media and the lies that the mainstream tells, and then you see the nonsense that they indoctrinate people with, that kind of stuff incited the violence against Trump, okay? And that's the kind of stuff that allows the violence to take place in these cities with the immigration crisis and all that kind of stuff. All this stuff has been incited and influenced by Democrats and then blamed on Republicans and all this kind of stuff. It's just the same thing over and over again. It's like they got to ruin everybody's day. It's like they can never wake up happy. And if they do wake up happy, the world is on fire. So that's pretty much what it appears to be to me. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I don't think anything she said was genuine. Oh man, I'm so sorry that I tried defaming you guys, or well, really not tried. She did her best attempt to, and I really think she's fake. I think the whole show is fake. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Somebody says, it's the best thing that has ever happened to the business. Have you seen the lines out the door? They are raking in the cash. Thanks, Whoopi. Yeah, I saw. It's a beautiful thing. So there's that. Glad to know that we can get some positives out of the situation here, because it's the number one thing they hate. They hate to see people doing good that are a part of the opposing party. So there's that. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Shout out to the King Squad, the King Squad family, the King Squad Elites. You guys are the bomb.com. Thank you to everyone who watched this video all the way through. And I hope you guys are having a great and awesome day. And if you're not, well, you woke up this morning. That's a great and awesome thing right there. Drink some water, make some money legally. No, this is not financial advice. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.